Okay. Very good morning, guys. So last class, I was explaining you about submitting a page to the server, right? So what did I teach you? Array, submitting a page means sending the values that are entered into the controls of a page to the server now. You created a login page, you created a registration page. Array, once you create a registration page and click on the register button, the data should be saved in the database. And database coding is not a client-side code. Remember, database coding is not a client-side coding. Database coding is server-side coding. Database coding is server-side coding. Where you need to write this code, you need to write all this code on the server side. Did you catch my point or not? Database coding is a server-side coding, and you need to write all this code on the server side. On the server side, we just require to write up all this code now. So if you want to write this code on the server side, if you want to write this particular code on the server side, remember, server should first receive the values. You filled up your registration form. Server should receive that values now. Am I right or wrong? Server should receive all the values now. So when the user clicks on the register button, user in the sense end user, clicks on the register button, all the values that are entered in the text boxes or check boxes or whatever is a control, a drop down list, all these values will go to the server. And we call this process as submitting a page. Are you clear? We call this process as submitting a page. And guys, remember, when you're submitting a page, two things you need to understand. What is it? You can submit the page back to itself only, or you can submit the page to another page also. Are you getting me? I said you submitting back to itself scenario. What is that? A shopping cart. A shopping cart. You added 10 items and you are removing an item now. After removing the item, you should still be on the same page only. You click on remove button. So it contacts the server and removes the product. And still you should be on the same page. You should not go to another page now. Understood? You reviewed your cart now. Everything is fine. And now you clicked on table. When you click on the table, you will go to another page. That is cross page. Understood? First one is same page. Same page means post back. Same page means post back. Submitting the data back to itself is called as post back. Submitting the data to another page is called as cross page. So what I taught you, page one, submitting data to page one only. See, page one, submitting data to page one only. What is this? Louder, yeah. It's a postback. It is a postback submission. Next, page one, submitting the data to page two. It is cross page. Cross page submission. Now tell me, what control is capable of submitting a page to server? Why are you talking about HTML? Talk about ASP.NET controls. Now, what controls are capable of submitting a page to server? Button, link button, image button. What is it? Button, link button, and image button. Remember, button renders you submit. Button renders a submit. Link button renders a hyperlink. Image button renders a input type image. First one, input type submit. Second one, hyperlink. Third one, input type image. Last class I showed you how to work with all the three. Are you clear? By default, all these buttons are capable to perform what? Postback or cross page. Postback or cross page. Postback. By default, all these buttons are capable of performing a postback only. They're capable of performing a postback only. But if you want to perform a cross page submission, if you want to perform a cross page submission, you're required to set a property now. What is the property? Postback URL. See, in page one, I have a button. Click on it, submits to page one only. In page one, I have a button. Click on this to submit to page two now. Then what should I do? For the button, I require to set a property called as a postback URL, and I require to specify the name of the page where it has to submit now. So when I click on the button, the postback URL will take from page 1 to page 2. Hope you guys are clear. These are all what I shown you in the last class. And then I was explaining about the button control and the members of the button control. What are the members of the button control we discussed? Text. One property is a text. Text is a caption of the button. Second one, just a second, guys. Yeah. The members of the button we're discussing. First one, text. Text with the caption. Second one, we talked about the postback URL. Third one, I shown you about this also. What is on client click means? It executes client side function. Click means execute server side. On client, name itself is telling you on client click means execute client side code means JavaScript. On click means server side. It is going to be server side. Server side, if you want any server side code, on click. If you want any client side code, on client click. Okay, now next one. Yeah. We talked on 1, 2, 3 as well as a 5. We talked on 1, 2, 3 and 5. So what we need to understand is 4 and 6. 4 and 6. I'll tell you guys. I'll tell you 4 and 6 in detail today. And basically, I also want to explain about these two things. What is it? Every event handler has 2 parameters. Do you remember? What are the 2? Object and event tags. So today, let me give you a clear picture for all of you. What is that object and what is that event tags? Why do we need them? Why do we need them? Okay. Let me create a project. Sorry, not a project. Let me create a page, guys. What I want is very simple, man. I want 3 text boxes. First text box for entering the first number, second text box for entering the second number, and below that 5 buttons: add, subtract, multiply, divide, modulus. So if you click on the add button, it should add the first 2 numbers and show the result in the third text box now. Are you clear? So actually, just check it out. I'm adding a web form. We'll name this as calculator 1. Calculator 1.aspx. Now let me come to, and this is a very important point now. Control should be inside the form tag. If they are not in the form tag, they are not going to submit to the server now. Compulsory form tag. Div is optional there. Alright, div is optional. Div is only a container, that's all. If you don't want, you can remove the div tag. Nothing matter there. Okay. So now here, I want to just go for creating a label. Label for displaying static text, remember? How do you create? ASP colon label. ID is equals to LBL num1. Run is equals to server. Next is equals to enter first number. Enter first number. This is what I'm giving now. Okay. Beside this, let us add a text box. Come on. ASP colon text box. ID is equals to TXT num1. Generally, this is a convention what we generally follow, you know. For all labels, we use a LBL prefix. For all text boxes, we use a TXT prefix. For all buttons, we use a BTN prefix. Checkbox, CB, RB, a radio button, RB. Why, sir? To make it descriptive. Tomorrow, 50, 60 controls are there. Simply the control name is some num1, not TXT num1, num1. What is it? Text box, label. How do you remember that? Yes or not? So don't forget this. Always make a habit of specifying what is the control first. Shortcut only, no need of text box or TXT, enough. Afterwards, what exactly it is. And one more thing, make sure, not mandatory, but it's a good practice. What is it, you know? Control names in camel case. Check it out. I'm using camel case. LBL, L capital, TXT, sorry, L lowercase, T lowercase. Camel case, remember na? First word lowercase, second word onwards, Pascal case. Second word onwards, Pascal case. So it's a camel case convention what we follow. These are all standards we follow in the industry, man. Okay? Run it equal to server. Next, the break tag. Again, let me copy paste the same paste here. LBL num2 txt num2. Enter second number. Break tag. LBL result txt result. Result update. Yeah, you enter the first number here, you enter the second number here, and here the result has to come now. And below that, I want to add 5 buttons. I want to add 5 buttons. Break. ESP colon button. ID is equals to BDN add. Run it equal to server. Text equal to add. Come on. BDN sub. Multiply. Dev. Mod. Okay. Run. Yeah, the page is ready. Yes or not? But not looking good. Not looking good. Your design like this, your client will, what is this design? Worst. It's not looking good. Alignments are not good. Placements and all these things are, the controls are overlapping. No proper spacing. If you give a break again, a lot of space will add off. Yes or not? Not looking good at all. Now, sir, how to design it properly? Remember, if you want to design it properly, use tables. Use tables. You create a table and use a table. So if you use a table, you get the correct alignments. Remember, in the complete ASP.NET, for everyday designing, we'll use tables. And you all guys know how to create a table now. How many rows you want? 4 rows. Correct now? How many rows you want? 4 rows. How many columns you want? First row, second row, third row, 2 columns. Last row, 1 column only. Last row, I want only 1 column, and all the 5 text boxes should be in the same column now. Am I right? Okay. So the best way to design this is by using a table. So all of you watch it. Table. Okay. How many rows you are expecting? 4 rows. So in first row, 2 TDs. Correct? Sorry. Yeah. Second row, 2 TDs. Third row, 2 TDs. Fourth row, when you talk about the fourth row, you want only 1 TD. Okay, but what you want to say, call span is equals to 2. What is the meaning of it? Consume 2 columns space. Row span means consume 2 row space, and call span means consume 2 column space. Call span is equals to 2. Okay, so that is what. Now you can add the contents in it. See, the alignments are not, when I copy paste, the alignments are not looking good now. See, to align the contents of your, you align the contents of your ASPX file, the shortcut key is Control KD. Control K plus T. Control plus K plus T. Are you clear? Control plus K plus D. D for Delhi. Okay. So see now all the alignments are looking good now. Now start adding. First one, first label. Under first TD. First label under first TD. Next. First text box under first row, second TD. Correct? Next. Second label. Second row, first TD. Second text box. Second row, second TD. Next. Third label. Third row, first TD. Sorry. And yeah, this one, third row, second TD. Now, all these text boxes under fourth row, one TD only there now. Just control KD, all the alignments now. Save it, guys. Go to your browser, refresh. Array, margins are looking good, but buttons should be in the center. Array, if you want center, you know what to do. Align is equals to center. I want this table also to be in the center. Okay. Table align is equals to center. I want to give a caption. Caption. Calculator. Focus on the designing first. You should have a good look. Make the habit from now only. Tomorrow I'll go to the work, start working, then I'll do. You will not. Now only make sure your designs and alignments look good on the screen. First, focus on it first.
Running.
Understood? So right now it's looking good than earlier. Right or not? Okay, it looks good than the earlier. Okay, the form is ready. Now what is the requirement?
5 बजे उठो 5 बजे नहीं उठोगे 5 बजे
I'm entering some 6. When you click on the add button, it has to show 106, 94, 600. Tell me, 16, 616 is 96, 16, modulus 4, reminder 4. I should get, when I click on these buttons, the appropriate result has to come now. Are you clear? First, let us write the logic for add. First, let us write the logic for add. We'll write the logic for add. One by one, we'll write. Array, button. You want to write the code on the default element of the button, correct now? What I taught you in the last class, go to design. Double click. No need to waste your time now. Simply double click on the add button. Yes. Generated. Okay. Now tell me. Actually, when I open my form now, I'll write the logic. When I open my form, by default, where are you expecting the focus to be present? Where are you expecting the focus to be present? First text box, but it's not the first text box now. I want the focus to be present on the first text box. Are you clear? Then, when the page is loaded, when the page is loaded, the focus should be in the first text box. Remember, guys, till now, we never called methods. We worked with properties, we worked with events. That's it now, not with methods. Focus is a method of the text box. Go and call it. Your focus will be set. Methods will perform actions. That's it. Correct? So come here. What is it? txt num1 dot focus. By default, the focus should be present on the first text box. And I want the focus to be present in the first text box only in the first request. When I click on the add button or submit button, then also you'll go to server. I don't want to, then I want only in the first request. One time only this should happen. Are you clear? Means first request means get request or post request. Yesterday I thought you get and post. Get request or post request. Get means, I said you simple English, man. First time you're getting the page. What do you call it? Get request. Means in the get request, you want the focus to be in the first text box. Are you following my point or not? Okay, guys, if that is the case, write down this condition now. If not, is I explained you about this in the last session to you. Post back is a true or false value. If not post back means, if it is not a post back means first request now. If it is a post back, next request. If it is not a post back, first request. If it is not a post back, txt num1.focus. See, by default, when you run this, you can see the focus to be present automatically in this. Can we use autofocus attribute in HTML? Are you writing ASPX code? HTML code? Sai Kumar? What are you writing? HTML code or ASPX code? Then how are you asking, like, can I use autofocus attribute in HTML then? You're writing ASPX code, remember, not HTML code. So you require to follow C# members, not HTML attributes. Sorry. Yeah. Look, where is the focus? It's in the first text box now. Understood? Now I will enter value into this text box, and click on the button, and the result should come here. Correct now? So I want to read the value in the click of the add button. How to read? What's the name of the text box? TXT num1. Correct now? TXT num1 dot text will give me the value now. TXT num1 dot text will give me the value now. Okay, but TXT num1 dot text is a string property. And if you want to do addition, you require to convert into integer. Remember, you've done this in console apps also. Console.readline reads a string. Same now also. What should I do? Int dot parse. Int num1 is equals to next louder. Int num2 is equals to, okay, next int result is equals to num1 plus num2, and txt result dot text is equals to result dot toString. Did you understand me? Array, final result you're assigning to the text box now. Which text box? Result text box. So why you call toString? The only said you text is a string property. Text is a string property. You cannot assign an integer value directly now. So what you should call? toString. Array, the meaning of toString is convert into string now. So the result will come there. Run. Yeah, 106 and got it. You got your result. See now, button click is submitting the page to server. Watch it. Can you see that or not? It is submitting the page to server. I'm entering 7 here. Click on the add button. See that? Submit. See it. Focus here. Notice or not? The page is refreshing. The page is refreshing. Submitting the page to server. Same way you need to write the code for subtract, multiply, divide, and modulus. So you need 4 more event handlers now. How many? 4 more event handlers are required. A similar code, but you require to write minus, multiply, divide, modulus. Clear now? Actually, that is generally, but all this code here except that mathematical operation, reading and assignment code is same only for all the 5 buttons now. What changes, man? Except that remaining code is same. Yes or not? Because this is code is same here, without writing 5 event handlers, you can manage this with a single event handler only. Did you understand me or not? Without writing 5 event handlers, you can manage this with 1 only. With 1 event handler only, you can write all the logic. Means no need of writing 5 methods, man. How many methods? 1 method can do the job. browser how one method can do the job. Right now, this method is bound to the add button. Bound to the add button. So I'm entering 106. Click on subtract. Nothing is happening. Why? Because this method is bound with the add button. Add only will work. Remaining will not work. Are you clear? Okay, just a second. What is the name of this method? And do you remember already in the last session I shown you, if you go to the events tab here, the events tab will show that method name beside the event now. Alright, this is what I said to you. The event handler is bound to the event. The event handler is bound to the event. Which event? Click event. Which method? btn add underscore click. You can bind this method with multiple controls also. You can bind the same method with multiple controls also. Okay, observe it. I want to bind it with subtract also. Okay, before binding, come once to the source. And do you remember this code? This I already shown you now. On click is equals to. Now let me go to here. Sorry, let me go to the design view. Go to subtract button. Array, see, listen, I want to bind that method here also now. How to bind? Use the drop down. Showing you, see? Showing or not? Select it. Which one? Add. Select the add. Okay. Now, again, go to source view and observe it, man. Binding C on click is equals to. Are you getting me? Same like this here. I can write from here also. On click is equals to. Don't you remember? I shown you this and explained you also very clearly. What it asks you? Do you want to bind with any existing one now? New one now? Earlier I showed you new one, but I want existing now. I can directly do it from here. I can do in the design view also. I can do it in the source view also. Are you clear? I want to bind it for the remaining two also. I want to bind to the remaining two also. In the design you want to do. At a time you can do for multiple controls. At a time you can do for multiple controls. Observe it. I'm selecting dev and mod at a time. At a time I selected F4. Use the drop down. Select. Now tell me, is the method bound with one controller, five controls? 5 buttons. See that? It is bound with all the 5 buttons now. Now run this code, man. All the 5 will do the same operation only, addition only. All the 5 will do the same operation only, addition. But our requirement is different. But first I explain you how to do binding. That's it. See now, 106. Now any button you click, it will do the same. Correct? I'm entering 7. I'm entering 8. See, all buttons are doing the same activity. What activity? Addition. But what is your requirement? First button addition, second button subtraction, third button multiplication, fourth button division, fifth button modulus. If I want to do that in my code, I should be able to find out which control is raising the event now. No response, man. You want to differentiate the code. If you want to differentiate the code, what is going to happen? In the code, we should be capable of identifying what identification, which button is clicked. Add button is clicked, subtract button is clicked, multiply button is clicked, divide button is clicked. Which button is clicked? I should be in a position to identify this. If I can identify that, I can write up the code easily now. Are you clearer or not? If I identify that, I can write up the code easily now. Agree or not? But the question that arises here is how to identify. Understood or not? But the question is how to identify. Listen, how to identify. Watch it, all of you. This is your method, right? Bound with have a look. This is your method bound with all, bound with all the 5 buttons. Okay. Now tell me, in the runtime, user can click on any button. Which button will the user click? Do you know? I don't know. I don't know which button the user will click now. So user can click on any button. The first important point is user can click on any button. Okay. I don't know which button will be clicked. Second question, can the user click on multiple buttons at a time? Can the user click on multiple buttons at a time? No. How is it possible? User cannot click on multiple buttons. How many buttons you can click? One. Which button? Don't know. Which button is don't know. Are you clear? Okay. Now tell me. These five are five instances of the class button now? Yes or not? Every button is an instance array. In object-oriented programming, that only you learned. If I create 10 instances of the customer, these are different customers now. And I want to represent 10 customers means I will say 10 instances now. I created 5 instances now. If I create 5 instances means 5 buttons now. Why customer came now? 5 buttons now. Understood or not? Which button the user clicks? Don't know. Can the user click on multiple buttons? Not possible. Clear now? Listen, whatever button you click now, whatever button you click, that is the instance now. That instance is captured under sender. That instance is captured under sender. You click on this button, it will come and capture in the sender. Array, object is a parent of all the classes or not? If object is a parent, do you remember this point, all of you? What is that? All these are child classes to object now. And what is the third rule of inheritance? Child class instance can be assigned to a parent class variable. So the sender is capable of holding it or not. So you click on this button, the instance is captured here. If you click on this button, the instance is captured here. Means the instance will come. Means in the runtime, the sender will tell you which control is raising the event. Did you understand me or not? What will it tell you? Which control is raising the event? Means in your code, you can identify whether user clicked on add button, subtract button, multiply button, divide button. You can identify. Understood or not? But do you remember this point? Parent can hold a child but cannot access child members. Correct? What is the unique identification for each button? Perfect. ID. The unique identification for each button is ID. But ID is a member of the button class. Can I access it through sender? No. Parent can hold, but parent cannot access the child members. Am I right? Okay. Just let me comment or delete this code for the time being. I will add it back again. Now see, I clicked on a button here that came into sender. With this, I want to identify the name, but not possible because parent cannot refer to the child class members. Okay, can I do this? Can I do this? Finished object-oriented programming, we don't remember anything at all. Array, child to parent can be converted back to child again. What is your control now? Button, child, converted to object, parent. Can I convert it back into child or not? Like what we learned in the third of inheritance. I said you, this is very, very important point. What is that? Child to parent, back to child. Child to parent and back to child. What is the child? Button to object, back to object. Button, button to object, object to button. I'm doing the same thing only now. Okay, now can I say response dot write dot ID. Now tell me, will it tell me the ID of the button or not? Which button, sir? Which button you click? That button ID will tell you now. See, observe it. Array, you're able to find now. With that, we can easily write up the logic now. If user clicks on BT and add, perform addition operation. If user clicks on BT and subtract, perform subtraction operation. User clicks on this, perform multiplication operation. User clicks on this, perform delete. User clicks on this, perform modulus. Is it clearer or not? Like this, you can write your logic now. Not only ID, guys, if you want, you can pick the name, anything. Sorry, you can pick the text of it. What is text? Caption. Text is the caption. Even caption is also unique now, brothers. Now even caption is also unique. See, are you clearer or not? You can even use a caption there, or you can even use a ID there. What you feel unique, you can use that and write the logic. Shall we implement? Okay, watch it. Now, first, reading the two text box values is same for all the operations. Am I correct? Reading the two text box values is same for all the operations now. Next, I'm declaring int result with value as 0. Result with value as 0. Okay. Now see, button b is equals to button of sender. Remember, we can write this in another way also. I explained you both these options to you. Go and check it out. The third rough inheritance, what I explained to you. You can do two types of conversion. Both are same only. Any you write, nothing happens. Okay. Now see, can I do this if b dot otherwise? Let's use a switch case man. Switch b dot name. Sorry, b dot text or b dot id. What one you feel comfortable, use it, man. No problem. Switch b dot text. Okay, I'm using a switch case statement. Um, yeah, switch b dot text. Okay, so what happens now? It is going to pick the text of the appropriate button. It is going to pick the text of the appropriate button. Come on, write down. What is it? Case add. Case add. If it is add, what will you do now? Result is equals to num1 plus num2. Break. Repeat. Case subtract minus case multiply into case divide case mod. Finally, can I say you're writing all the logic in one method only now? So will it work, sir? Come on, let us see. Addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, modulus. Working on. So did you understand what is the need of sender? The need of sender is, remember, if an event procedure, if an event handler is bound with multiple controls, if an event handler is bound with multiple controls, we can identify which control is raising the event with the help of sender. Are you clear? So what is that? If a event handler is bound to multiple controls, we can identify the control which is raising the event using sender parameter, because uh, because in the runtime in the runtime the instance of the control which is raising the event will be captured under sender. Read it carefully. So we can identify what we can identify, which control is raising the event. Tomorrow, 10 buttons can be there, man. Don't require to write 10 methods now. How many methods to write? One method on. So simply use the sender. Sender will tell you. So identify the control uniquely. Two ways to identify. One, you can never give the same ID. Yes or not? We can never give the same ID. We will never give the same text. Are here we cannot. We can, but we won't do now. Will you give same text for multiple buttons? No, not at all. Always what we do is give different text to each button now. Understood my point or not? We don't use the same text for each button. So which one is unique? That unique value. Pick the unique value. Hussein. Hello. Medical apartment. Okay. So what is that? We can identify which control is raising the event. We can identify which control is raising the event with the help of sender. When do you need it? When an event procedure is bound with multiple controls. Hussein. Okay, when the event procedure is bound multiple controls, and I did not bind it to multiple controls. No need sender. I did not bind it. Yesterday we don't require this. Screen data engine. Okay, am I clear? Okay, what is it? If an event procedure is bound to multiple controls, we can identify the control which is raising the event using sender parameter, because in the runtime, the instance of the control which is raising the event will be captured under sender. Remember, yaar, it is pure object-oriented programming. What is the type of sender? Object. And what is that? Object is parent of all the classes. Rule number 3 of inheritance, what it tells you, child class instance can be assigned to parent. And there only, remember, in the third rule, third point, under third rule, I said you 3 points. Third rule, third point, what it tells you, a child reference converted to parent can be converted back into child again now. Today we are binding with the button, so our conversion is to button. Tomorrow, if your binding is with a text box, this conversion should be for a text box now. If you're binding for a checkbox, this conversion should be for a checkbox. If you're binding with radio buttons, this conversion should be to radio button. What the original type button, you should convert back into its original type. And once you convert, if you feel text is unique, use a text. If you feel ID is unique, use ID. ID will be 100% unique. Text maybe, may not be. For us today, it is unique, but may not be unique also. We don't know whether it will be unique or not. But ID will be 100% unique. But what I use this text. If you want, you can use ID also in your code. Okay. Did you understand the binding process? Very simple. Yeah. First click on one button. First double click on one button. Method generator. Now bind it with the remaining. How to bind? Simple. Coordinate. Select all the buttons in the design view. At a time, select it. Okay. Okay. Just a second. I'll show you. Let me create you another page, man. Let me create you another page. I will name it as calculator 2. Calculator. Okay. I want the same design. I want the same design. Okay. First time, initially, I'm showing you that I'm typing all the things here, but going forward, I won't type in HTML. I will only copy paste. Is it clear? The complete HTML is present on the notes. I'll only copy paste. First time I'm doing it first initially. So let me type and show you the appropriate things one more time. But you don't copy paste. Are you clear? Okay, you don't do copy paste work. You make the habit of doing on it on your own. Okay, come on, tell me. Table. Align is equals to center. Caption. Calculator. TR. PD. ASP colon label. ID is equals to LBL num1. Run it equal to server. And text is equals to enter first number. Guys, yesterday someone asked this particular question. I did not respond for them. What is this? So what is the run it equal to server? So the run it equal to server is an attribute to tell this is a server side code. Array, the first day also, when I was telling you, I explained, you remember, script run it equal to server. Run it equal to server is to tell this code should be processed by the server, not by the browser. Understood or not? So we generally, when I say run it equal to server, this complete code gets processed on the server, but not on the browser. That's the meaning of run it equal to server. Okay. Next. TD ASP colon text box ID is equals to TXT num1 run it equal to server. Can I copy paste? Copy this and pasting here. Come on, let's change the names. No need. Simply Control KD. Control KD. LBL num2 TXT num2. And here enter second number. One more time. LBL result TXT result. TXT result. Okay, now enter. Sorry. Result obtain. Okay, next. TR again. TD. Come on. All span is equals to 2. Align equal to center. Start adding now. ASP colon button. ID is equals to btn add. Run it equal to server. Text equals to add. btn sub. btn multiply. btn div. And btn mod. Subtract, multiply, divide, and modulus. Ready now? Once let us go to code view. Let's do all the basic fundamental things. If not is postback. I hope everyone is clear. If not postback, simple English man. If not postback means first request, get request. What do you do? TXT num1 dot focus. Run your page and see, you see the same output now also. But only thing is no logic is implemented. No logic implemented now. Okay now? Now can you help me in defining one event handler and binding with all the 5 now? Okay. What I said you go to design view. Array, first generate one here, afterwards select all. First generate one, then select all. First generate one. I want to generate for quick event. Double click. I want to generate for load event. Array, you can double click now. What to do? Properties, events, double click there. Not here. Only for quick event only possible from here. Suppose I want to generate for command event. I want to generate for command event. Array, don't double click, man. If you double click, you think mind command and double click will generate for command. Your brain is not connected to your computer now. Okay, it will generate only for click, not to command. How to get for command? Okay, events. Which event? Command. Double click on this. See that generated for command event now. Are you clear? How to find? Again, come back to design. Now select. Now select what? Remaining 4 buttons. Catch the control key and remaining the 4 buttons now. F4. Command. Are you clear? Come on, select it. And once you select and go to source and see, you'll find the binding happened for all the 4. Check out. Are you clearer or not? Understood me or not? Is it clear, all of you? Okay. Now, center is clear for all? Yes or not? Then we'll try to understand the second parameter then. Array, center we learn na. We try to understand the second parameter. What is the second parameter? Array, I said you event args are child class of event args. Do you remember? What did I say? Event args are child class of event args. This is what I said to you yesterday. Array, the notes also was there. And see here, the second parameter is not event args. Command event args. But come to click event, all of you come to click event. Event args only. But here, sorry, command event args. What is event args, sir? Event args is actually used for reading any additional information of that control in the code. I repeat, event args is basically used for reading some additional information about the control in the code. What is that, sir? Listen. Here, actually, we started morning. I said you, Array, I will explain you about all these things to you now. What? Array, just now you went to command event only now. Yes or not? Next one. Command name, command argument. Okay, listen carefully. You go to properties of the button. You go to properties of the button. Any button, add button. It has 2 properties. See, command name, command argument, command. These 3 are interconnected to each other, guys. Where command name and command argument are properties, command is event. What is the use of these properties? See, what is it? Text? Can anyone tell me? If I ask you what is the description for a test, what's your answer? User-defined data associated with the control that is visible to user. Am I correct or not? Array, that is a user-defined data. Earlier it is not that add na, earlier the button. But we change it to add. So what is it? User-defined data associated with a control and visible to user. Okay. Same way, these 2 are also same, guys. User-defined data associated with a control. User-defined data associated with a control, but not visible to user. Did you understand my point or not? First one is user-defined data associated with a control visible to user. Second one is user-defined data associated with a control not visible to user. Means I can bind multiple values to a control here. Some are visible to user and some are not visible to user. Suppose here for this button, what is this button, guys? Add. I want to give it as plus sign here. I want to give plus sign here. Same way, let me come to the second button. And for the second button, I'm giving minus sign. Third one, multiplication. Multiplication. Fourth one, oh, I entered wrong place. Sorry. Multiplication. Fourth one, division. Fifth one, modulus. And all of you observe this, you run this value will not be visible to user at all. You're given some value, but the value is not visible to you. What is visible to user? Text is only visible to user. See that command name is not visible. Are you getting me? But I can read that command name in my code. I can read that command name in my code. In my code, I can read the command name value. How can you read? Like this. Watch. Watch it, guys. Response dot write e dot command name and e dot command argument. Both the two things can be read in the code. See? What is the difference, sir? Nothing, man. Text, command name, command argument, all these are different properties to find multiple values to control now. Multiple values to control. Text, visible to user. Command name, command argument, not visible to user. But these values are associated with control and you can access them in your code. You can access them in your code. Okay, watch it. I'm trying to print the command name value on screen. Watch it, all of you. See, now tell me, without using a sender, can I use this command name and implement the logic what I implemented same in the previous example? Possible or not possible? How do you write? Int num1 is equals to int dot parse txt num1 dot text. Int num2 is equals to int dot parse txt num2 dot text. Int result. Okay, now is equals to 0. Next, switch. What? E dot command name. Array, just now I printed and shown you the command name on the screen now. Case plus result is equals to num1 plus num2. Break. Repeat now. Shh. Come on. Second one. Minus. 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 Multiply. Divide. Modulus. Finally, txt result dot text is equals to result dot toast. Run, you get the same output on. Yesterday you're absent, Kumar. One 106, 94, 600, 16. You got the expected result now. Array, these are the two different ways of writing the code. Here what I done, I use the sender. But here what I done, I use the different thing called as command event tags. What is this, sir? Actually, the second parameter, first parameter sender is to identify the control which is raising the event. Actually, the second parameter is actually provided for reading some additional information about the control raising the event. It is used for reading any additional information associated with the control. So what information can I read now? Command name and command argument can be read in the code. How do we use the command name now? If you want, you can try the same thing with command argument also. Without command name, command argument, and here write e dot command argument. Write e dot command argument. Then you will get the command argument value. So listen, what is command name and command argument? Read this. Some additional data with the button apart from array text is some data or additional data can be used with the command name and command argument, but these are not visible to users, and these values can be used in code under. You can even see these three are interconnected with each other. What three? Command name, command argument, and command event. In command event only I can read. In click event I cannot read these values, man. Where I can read? Command event only I can read. Read the command now, which fires when the button is clicked, and there are associated command name or, yeah, we have a command name or command argument value now. Now you can use this event. So click and command will work in the same style. Both will fire when we click on the button only. But the difference is click will not provide access to command name and command argument, but command will provide access to command name and command argument. Okay. Now coming back a bit, listen, focus on this. See, sir, this is event tags, this is command event tags. What is the difference? Listen, E dot, can you see the properties command name and command argument? Come on, tell me. What is present? Nothing is present in the class except the members inherited from object class. See, man, nothing is present here except the members defined in the object class. Now come here, come to the second command event, and now write E dot. See there? Apart from what is defined in the object class, we have two extra properties available now. What is that? Command name, command argument. Command name and command argument. See, basically, what is the first class? Event tags. Public class event args. Public class event tags. Inherits from? They did not define anything here, guys. They did not define anything here now. Same way, public class command event tags inherits from event tags. Now inside they define two properties: public string command name get set, public object command argument get set. Yeah, I forgot to say you. Command name is a string, command argument is object. Command name is string, command argument is object. See now, if I refer to this class, there are no properties now, but this class provides you different properties. Like this, different classes will be present for different events. You are not the same class. Tomorrow, somewhere you want to access different properties now. Different classes comes into picture. But what is the parent class? All are event args only. All will be event tags only. Tomorrow you take a text box. You can have a different parameters there. You can have a different parameters. First parameter will be the same for all, but second parameter will be either event tags or child class of the event tags. Either event tags or child class. First one is fixed. No changes to first one. First one is object only. No changes. What changes? Second one only changes. It can be either event tags or child class. Not the same child class. Different events will have different child classes. When the time comes, I'll show you about this one. So today I introduce you to command event tags. This is having two properties. What are the two properties? And using this, we can pick the command name value and command argument value in the code now. Are you clearer or not? Okay, if command name, command argument are not present, if command name, command argument are not present, click and command are same only. No difference between click and command now. When the difference comes, when command name, command argument are given, then only command event makes sense. Otherwise, click and command are same events only. Nothing difference between the two. So guys, look, this is the thing. Understanding about object and event tags parameters. As discussed earlier, every event handler will be taking two parameters. First one, sender of type object, and then E of type event tags or child class of event tags. The use of this properties is we can implement logic for multiple controls in a array in both the two cases and on the same thing only. Do you notice or not? One event handler will implement the logic now. Okay. Now see, first example, I'm dealing with object sender. To understand about this parameter, add a new web form. What is the name? And guys, given the HTML code. So what is my intention? What I want to tell to you all, don't look at this and write the code. Alright, don't click and copy this, man. Now I typed it now. Make the habit of doing it like this so that you will be understanding first. Write, run, see the output. Okay, don't stop. Anything modification required, go to the source view, make a modification, refresh. Make a modification, refresh. Okay, don't copy paste here. Again, I'm telling you, you will never learn anything if you copy paste. Come on. Now let's write one event handler method for all the 5 buttons. And to do that, go to design view of the form, select add button, open property window, select events, select a click event, and decide that specify a name to the event handler, buttons underscore click. What is this, sir? What is that, sir? You did not show it like this for us. You are telling differently now. That is a doubt you'll have in the mind. Okay, just a minute here. I'll clarify. Let me delete all this code once. We will add again. Let me not delete, cut the code. Let me cut the code and put it in the notepad. Okay. Can we delete all this code now? What code? Event handlers and all the things. I don't want them. Delete. And bindings also. How to delete the binding? Events. Array, delete here, man. That's all. Binding deleted. The binding is deleted. Go and check in the source view. Notice the binding got deleted. So right now, no control is associated with any event handler now. No logic executes here. Am I correct? Okay. Can you tell me the process again? One more time. I want a command event handler for all the 5 now. Very first step. Select any one button. Go to properties. Sorry. By mistake, my hand hit the enter key here. It generated off. Sorry. Yeah, let me delete it. Once again. Go select add button. Properties. Events. Double click on command. What will be the name of the method? btn add underscore command. And it's the same name for all the 5 now. Yes or not? Array, for subtract also it is add only. I did not like the name, man. I did not like the main. I want it as a button underscore click. Which button? I don't know. Button underscore click. Or buttons underscore click. Array, if that is the case, type your own name here and hit the enter key. The method generates with the name what you given now. If you don't give a name, what's the name? btn add underscore command. Now, but you think your name has a name there, no problem. Any name to convenience for you. Are you with me? Repeat the same again. Select remaining all 4 buttons, properties, command, select it. And did you notice one thing? Under click, it was showing you load. Under command, it is not showing the load. Can you guess why? Parameters are not matching. Click and load have same parameters only. What is it? Object sender, event args, correct? But now the parameters are different. Click as event args and command as command event args. Parameters are not matching now. So what it will show is only the event handlers whose parameters are matching. Others will not be shown here. Is that clear? So now I given my own name or use the predefined name. My own name. Come on here, copy paste the logic. Just I copied and put it here. Let me copy back and paste it here. Over. That's it. That only I said you here. You can read again if you want. Go to design view of the form. Add button. Open property window. Select events. Select click event and decide that specify a name to the event handler. What is the name I given? For command, I given buttons underscore command. For click, I given buttons underscore click now. And click on it, which will generate the event handler with the given name. Next. With remaining 4 buttons, go to design view again. Select, subtract, multiply, divide, and mod buttons at a time. Property window. events, and now we will find a drop down beside. Click on it, which will list the event handler. What is that? Select it, which will bind the event handler with four buttons. All four buttons means it's bound with all the five now. And this is the code now. First, page load. What are you writing? If not is postback. What is the meaning of it? It is a first request. It is a first request, not a postback request. We are not performing a postback. Postback means second request onwards, we call it as a postback. First request is a get. I said you, this is simple in mouse. You open a browser, type the URL, you are asking for getting the page now. Now you click on the button. You click on the button with your posting. This is a second post. So first request is called as what? Get request. Second request is called as a post back request. Now I'm writing if not post back. If not post back means first request. In the first request, put the focus into name text box. And here see, I'm reading the values. I used ID man. In the classroom, I used name. I said you, what you feel is unique, use it. That's your choice. Okay, I used the ID and implemented all the logic. And also I used the if condition. In the classroom, I used a switch case. Anything, nothing problem. See, when an event handler is bound with multiple controls, we can identify the control which is raising the event. Like in our case, by using the sender parameter of event handler. Because we are already aware that every control is a class and a control that is placed on the form is an instance of that class. So whenever a control instance raises an event, immediately that instance is captured in the sender parameter, which is of type object. Default parent class for all the classes. So any control, not any button, any control, it can be one button, one text box, one checkbox, whatever you click, that will come and store under the sender now. Okay, next. Because sender is of type object, it is not capable of accessing any of the child class members. For example, in the above case, button is the child class. And to overcome this problem, we need to convert sender back into button as we have performed in our above code. And then we can read its ID or text or any other property and implement the logic specific to the control. So in the classroom, I read the text. In the notes, I read the ID. Anything you read now. Second one. Child class of event tags. To understand about this parameter, add a new web form. What is the name? And write the below code. And see guys, now the difference is for these buttons, I added the extra attribute now. See, I added the extra attribute now. What is that? You can try command argument also. Understood? But command argument is which type? Object. In the code, again, you require to convert a string. Don't forget that. Clearer? Simple one is name. I used the name. Okay, again, same process. In the above quiz, we have set a command name property for each button, and this value can be accessed and used in the command event of the button, not the click event of the button. Which event? Command event of the button. Now let us write one event handler method for all the 5 buttons, and to do that, same process. Go to design view, select add, open property window, select events, select command, and beside it specify the name of the event handler. What is the name? Buttons underscore command. First one is buttons underscore click. Now it is buttons underscore command, and click on it, which will generate a event. And this is the same process here. What is that? Select all the 4 and bind. This is the logic again. This is the logic we used. Now we are used the switch case now. E dot command name and implemented the logic. One example I shown you if condition. One example I shown you switch case. See, read this. In the above case, we have specified a command name to each button, and we can access that command name value under the event handler by using E of type command event tags, which is nothing but the child class of event tags class. So once we can access the command name, we can easily identify the control which is raising the event and implement the logic as we have done in the above case. Clearer, all of you? Two things. One is command name, one is command arguments. Okay, see, look at this. I said you already. Remember, only under. Sir, I want to access any click event. Not possible. These three are connected. See, names are matching. See, command name, command argument, command event. All are matching. Command connected to each other. I want to go to click and get the command name, sir. Not possible. Where you can get it? Only in the command event only that access is given. Is it clear, everyone? Yes or not? Okay. Now, two pages we created. Just a minute, guys. Command name in place of symbol. Yeah, you can use. ID cannot be used. Na? Command name returns you the value in the command name. In a command name, you give a string, you give a string only now. What did I give in the command name? Plus, minus, that's it now. You give add, subtract, then that will give that only now. What you give, that only you can access now. You can give anything there, no props. Why again command argument when sender is present? Multiple options are given inside a method. We implement the binding through sender, but again, see, the reason for this is different. We will, when we work with the grid controls, I'll tell you. When we work with grid controls, I'll tell you about this. Can we utilize e dot command argument operands directly for result creation without the switch statement? How can you write like this? What is the question is? Why are you writing num1 plus num2? Can't we write num1 e dot command argument num2? Can you write like that? What is that symbol? You can't use a string there, na? It should be a symbol that you are asking for in. Can't we utilize e dot command arguments operand directly for the result creation? How can you write? The wrong statement here. It should be an operator, not a string. What is this? Sorry, not command argument, na command name. What is this? String. Strings cannot be used in there. If I use string, suppose if I use string, num1, num2, what is it, man? You're concatenating. What are you doing? Concatenating, not addition. You can't write like this. Understood, Faril? That's not possible. Yeah, just a second, all of you. What's this output? Both pages are giving me correct output only. But every time I click on the button, the page is submitting to the server. Am I correct? Every time I click on the button, the page is submitting to the server. Can't we do this without submitting to the server? Can't we do this without submitting to the server? See, it is submitting to server, man. You notice it or not? Can't we do this without submitting? Sir, if you want to do this without submitting to the server, you have to write JavaScript code. Once it. Is addition only not a problem, but suppose it requires some database interaction, then I cannot write JavaScript code. Are given on some inputs, you need to get some values from a database now. Then I cannot write JavaScript code. Compulsory should be server code only. So the requirement is the code should be server side, but I want to execute without a refresh, without a page reload. Refresh will reload the page. Refresh will reload the page. I want this logic to execute without reloading the page, without using JavaScript. There is a concept called as AJAX. Have you heard it? AJAX. Asynchronous JavaScript and XML. What is this, sir? Guys, to make you understand about this, first let me tell you a small scenario. You're reading an online newspaper. You went into the Hindu, Times of India, any of these particular websites, and started reading a newspaper. You're starting reading some article. Now on the top of the page here, actually what they're showing is on the top of the page, they're showing the cricket score. They're showing a cricket score. Some match is going on, some World Cup matches are going on between India and some country. And now all the websites will show the score now. The newspaper company, the newspaper site is also showing the score on the first line. On the first line, on the top of the page, they're showing the score now. And the score should be changed frequently every 3 seconds, every 2 seconds. We need to update the score now. If you want to update the score, what should happen? We need to connect to the server. We need to connect to the server. All of you know that web applications are connectionless. Web applications are connectionless. What is it, sir? I open a browser. Listen, I open a browser and I am trying to call www on facebook.com. What happens? A connection goes to server. Server sends the page to the browser. Correct? Huh? Once the page comes to the browser, immediately the connection between the server and the browser is cut off. Did you understand? The connection between the browser and the server is cut off. Sir, don't have a connection with the server now? No, you don't have. Why, sir? Array, do you know? I remember, guys, in 2004, not now, 2004, 20 years exactly, the most popular website for mailing is Hotmail from Microsoft, actually. Hotmail, very popular. On that day, they conducted a survey. What survey, you know? What are the minimum number of users connecting to this Hotmail server at a point of time? At a point of time, how many people are connecting to the Hotmail server? And that is 1 million. What is that? 1 million. Which year? 2004. In 2004 in India, we don't have personal internet connections to anyone here. If you want internet, we used to go to Netcafe and we used to access our browse from the Netcafes only. Every one of you have a personal connection on your mobile now. So how many mobile phones are there? All mobile phones have internet access now, and you have a connection to the server. You are connected now. Yes or not? Okay, imagine. Can you think how many people would be connected to Gmail at the point of time today? There are countless here. Those number of people at a time hitting the Gmail server. Do you think the server respond? All people at a time fall on the server. How will the server respond now? The best example, 11 o'clock, try to open the IRCTC website. The site won't open at all. Why? Load, lot of load. Understood? Yes or not? That is why web applications are connectionless. What is a connectionless? You go, get your response, disconnect. Again, you want to come back again. It is just like a buffer system. You eat the meals in a buffer system. How do you eat? You do serve what you want, leave the place and give the place to others now. You want again, come back again. I give you. But don't stand there. Till a person stands there only. I suppose some 10 people coming, started eating the food standing there now. The rest of the people has to wait in the queue. Or these 10 people took 10 minutes to finish. Another 10 people will come now. Another 10 people will come. Means in 1 hour, you can serve only 60 people. You call 1,000 people for lunch now. 1 hour, you are serving 60 people. It will take 15 hours nearly to complete eating the food. No one will wait now. Am I right or not? So that's why what is the process? Come, take your food, leave the place, give the place to others. You want to come back again. Web applications also works in the same style. So what we call as connectionless. Web applications are connectionless. Once connected to server and response comes to the browser, connection is cut off. You want anything back again you require to connect to the server. Are you clear? Same point I'm telling you. What I loaded the newspaper, started reading the article now. On the top, score is getting displayed. If the score has to change, what should happen? We need to connect to the server now. Means we need to refresh. We need to refresh. If you refresh, again it will go to server, again reload the data. Are you getting me? In HTML, we have a tag for auto refreshing the page. in HTML, we have a tag for auto refreshing the page. Means you don't require to refresh it manually. It can auto refresh the page. How do you refresh? There is a tag called meta tag. There is a tag called as meta tag. In the head section, we can use the tag meta. HTTP hyphen equal is equals to refresh, and content is equals to the time when it has to refresh. The time when it has to refresh. Okay, all of you watch it, observe this. Your page will be refreshing automatically for every 3 seconds. How to check that, sir? Check it. I'm not touching the screen. Oh, sorry. I'm not touching the screen at all. Check it, all of you. Refreshing or not? I did not do anything. See, the refresh button is automatically blinking. Miss, it is refreshing now. Are you clear? So now the newspaper website also want to show the score and update the score for every 3 seconds now. They use their auto refresh tag like this. What will happen? Every 3 seconds, the page will refresh now. Contact the server, get the score. Fine now? Yes or not? Score gets updated. But what about your reading experience? What about your reading experience? Or every 3 seconds, the page reloads like this. How will it be? Irritating first. Every 3 loads, page will reload again. I just went to the middle of the page now. Page reloaded and went to top again. Again, I'll scroll down. Again, 3 seconds will refresh. Again, I'll scroll down. After 2, 3 times this happens, we'll close the browser and we don't use the site now. Irritating. Yes or not? Did you understand the problem? To avoid this problem, they introduced a concept called as Ajax. What is Ajax? Ajax is a concept using which we can perform partial reloading of the page, not the complete page. Not the complete page. What is it? Partial page reloading means I don't want the complete page to be reloaded. What I want? I want only the score section to be reloaded. Did you catch my point or not? Now what is reloading? Whole page is reloading. Now what is reloading? Whole page. See, every 3 seconds, look at the refresh button. The whole page is reloading. But the concept of Ajax is not the whole page. What is reloaded? Part of the page. Only a part of the page is going to be reloaded. That too without submitting the page. Means what happens, in the background, for every 3 seconds, it will send a request to server, get the response, and update the score. That's how the sites will work. That is how the sites will work. So many of the sites, if you see score, not only about score, yeah, share trading, share prices will keep on updating regularly, but you won't refresh the page anytime. Yes or not? All these will happen with the help of Ajax, asynchronous JavaScript and XML. Okay, if I use that Ajax in my code now, without submitting only, I can do all my actions now. We shall enter the value, add, subtract, multiply, divide, will show the result, but page won't be reloaded. Means it looks like a JavaScript code now, but that is not JavaScript again, but it's only server-side code. But end user will not see any page reloading or anything. Score will not, sorry, the values will automatically change for us. So for that, we need to use what? Ajax. And to use Ajax, we have Ajax controls. Tomorrow, I will introduce you to the Ajax controls. You notice it? We are using standard controls now, right? We can use this Ajax controls in the code now, and you can do this activity without reloading the page every time. Okay, we'll see that tomorrow. Let's stop here. First, practice this too carefully.